What's up, everybody? It's Mark from Dirty Honey, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. Starting off the show tonight, we heard XYZ from The Letter to God with Tango, and Warrior Soul there with Love Destruction, and stepping up to the mic, destroying faces all over the world with his slap fighting, my good friend and partner, Chris Akin. What's going on there, Chris? I'm not hearing you. Uh-oh, little snafu here.
All right, there we go.
Oh, yeah, turning the mic on would be a good thing.
Well, I guess I turned it off when I plugged back in the ear monitor things. I guess.
All kinds of technical things going on over there.
Well, I could hear the music, so I figured it was on.
I'm almost starting to regret that I bought you those damn things.
Well, it looks like everything else. There's a learning curve. It's not as simple as putting them in your ears and hearing shit. Now, is it?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah, I know. You'd think it'd be simple. Of course not. Not in my world.
No, of course not. Everything has to stay the same.
That's right.
Don't touch anything.
No changes. None.
Yeah. Don't be unplugging stuff and plugging in other outlets and shit.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
Well, here we are. We're back again.
We are.
And boy, I tell you, I had a rough time getting motivated today for some reason, but I think I know the reason why.
Why?
Well, I ate food that I normally don't eat.
Okay.
And I had a couple of Jack and Cokes with it, and it was just too much carbs. I think it just kind of sucked the energy out of me.
Was this at lunch?
No. I did. This was last night, and I'll tell a quick story here. So I gave a shout out to this place before. It's called Rudy's Barbecue Shack.
Okay.
And it's run by a very patriotic fella by the name of Rudy Messer. And
all right.
He's going to tune in and listen tonight. I told him I'd throw a little shout out to him, but
right.
he and some folks were sitting around the bar there when I went in to place my order, and he always recognizes me to say hello and, hey, how are you? And then, we got into talking about guns and music and, all kinds of stuff. So he's, he loves the guns.
Sure.
So we were started getting into the whole comparing guns. I was showing him some of my arsenal, and we were discussing stuff. And then there was another patron sitting over there too, and both of them were carrying.
Okay.
And the one other gentleman there, he was showing me his guitar collection. He's a picker.
Okay.
And he has a collection of guitars, and he has quite a collection of guns too. He's got way more guns than me.
He's ready for the new war, right?
Yeah. So he was showing me pictures of all his guns and his gun collection, and we were all just kind of talking about guns and rock and roll and chicks and just what dudes do. I mean, normal dudes.
Right.
I'm not talking about the faggots that today. I'm talking about regular guys.
Right.
And it was very cool, and his food is just awesome. Just the barbecue is awesome. I know how much you love the smoking rock and roll barbecue.
I do.
Well, this is right on par with that. And
okay.
So I went there and got there what they call a sampler platter. But I tell you what, I guess my eyes were too big for my stomach, because I thought, yeah, give me a full slab of ribs too. Now, I didn't eat it all. I took it home and I had some of it,
Right.
But they have this hot barbecue sauce. They have the normal barbecue sauce, and then they got a hot barbecue sauce, and I like spicy stuff. So I said, yeah, just give me the hot,
Okay.
Oh boy. By this morning I woke up and I was just like sweating my ass off. I thought I had gotten the Rona again or something. And, I was just like, oh, I'm not feeling it, and,
right.
by the afternoon or so, everything subsided a little bit. Well, being the glutton for punishment that I am, I decided to finish the sample platter around 4:30 this afternoon. I am sweating buckets.
Nice.
Oh my God. Whatever that, I mean, it's not hot to where it burns your mouth, but it's a spice and man, it just makes you fucking sweat.
Right.
So I took a shower, about half hour, 40 minutes before the show tonight. And, I came up to the studio and I'm just sitting here sweating my ass off. I'm just like, Jesus. So I'm going to sweat through the evening and get this out of my system. But hey to Rudy, and great barbecue, love it. But I gotta ease up on the hot stuff, because whatever that spice is in the hot, boy, that stuff just comes out your pores.
Right. Next time you'll be with the dry rub.
Exactly. Or I'll just go with the regular barbecue, or not go so much with the hot only, because they offer you both. You go, do you want both the hot and the mild? Like, just give me all hot,
Whoops.
Yep. Woo.
Next time you'll be like, just give me the plain, nothing on it.
But the barbecue itself was just, absolutely fantastic. So I don't think I've had more tender barbecue than I've ever had there.
Right.
I mean, Billy's place is fantastic. His food is fantastic, but the times that I've gotten there, well, it's not enough to burn the asshole. It's not like those peppers. It's just a spice in there that makes you sweat.
Yeah. Just take it. Everybody needs to take it easy. Neeley has a sensitive tummy. It's okay.
Well, it didn't upset my stomach. It just made me sweat.
Right.
It was just sweating. And I was just like, whew, man. But great stuff, though. I love it. So shout out to Rudy over there at Rudy's Rib Shack, and the Patriots that frequent that place, because he's all into the very American, and it's a very clean little joint, and privately owned, and I always enjoy going in there because the conversation, and me, I'm not a big conversationalist at all.
Right. Sure.
But I feel comfortable there, and they're all always very friendly, and hey, it's good to see you.
So you share a nice story, you get shit on constantly.
Exactly. So anyway, I came home with that, and I just thought, okay, I'm going to have some barbecue. It's Friday night. It's been a stressful week, as every week has been for the last eight months.
Sure.
Just because business is just business, man. I'm telling you, I'm not complaining, but it keeps me busy. And by Friday, I'm just like, I'm going to do a Bob Kelly. Dude, I'm just cooked. But so I'm sitting there watching a movie. I decided, I just kind of wanted something kind of funny, lighthearted, goofy, even though I've seen it a bunch of times. I turned on The Hangover.
Okay.
The unrated version of The Hangover. Sure. And so I'm sitting there just enjoying the movie and hanging out, and then my cell phone starts ringing. I'm just like, what the hell is this? Answer the phone. Out of the blue, Tom Zutaut.
Really?
Yeah, Tom Zutaut calls me, and I'm just like, hey, what's up, Tom? He goes, hey, man, I've been thinking about calling you. I'm sorry I've been out of touch. I've just been really busy and blah, 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 blah. And, I just wanted to touch base with you because, I'm doing things with my radio show, and, I want to update my Facebook page, and I wanted to add you guys onto it, and, update some links and, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, we've been talking about wanting to get you on the show. And he says, well, I want to come on the show.
Yeah.
He says, I was thinking that the car show in Chicago is happening, and he's involved with car dealerships or something right now. And he says he makes the trip to Chicago for the yearly car show, and he says, we could do the whole Zoom Skype thing, and he says, I don't particularly enjoy that at all.
Okay.
He says, but if I come up there, he says, I'd like to come to your studio live.
All right.
And I said, well, you're welcome to come. If you want to stay the night too, that's fine too. I got an extra room here.
Yeah.
So if you want to come out and hang during the show, and he says, well, you know what would be really cool? I know it's going to be a bit of a logistic nightmare. What I would like is if I could get myself and Dawn there at the same time.
All right.
I'm just like, well, I don't know how that would happen, but regardless of that, of course you're invited,
Yeah. When is this car show?
It's in March.
Okay, so it's not in the height of their touring season.
No. It's in March. It's I think it's like the weekend of Valentine's Day weekend or something like that.
Okay.
Like around the 12th.
Valentine's Day is February.
I don't know why. Let's see here. Yeah, you're February. I'm thinking ahead here. I'm thinking what I was thinking about. He said he wants to come to Chicago for the Akin shows out at the Des Plaines Theater and the Arcata Theater too.
Okay.
So I was getting that mixed up, but yeah, he said he wants to come to the car show in February and then maybe come out do the shows over in Chicago in March.
Okay.
So we chit chatted for a while and very nice guy. It couldn't be a nicer guy, and I was just like, wow, this is pretty cool, so I'm thinking, here's the guy who signed Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Akin, Tesla, you name it. This guy worked with all the, the big name acts that kind of defined the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and he's calling me out of the blue. I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's pretty fun.
So if you're listening, Tom, hey to you as well. So, if we can make arrangements and get Tom to come here and be live with us, that'd be how great would that be?
That would be fun.
That guy would have stories for days.
Yeah, be good. We wouldn't even need to really be here other than to just sort of guide it a little bit.
Exactly.
So Tom, tell us about Guns N' Roses. Hey, I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah. So I had a good chit chat with him last night for about, 25 minutes, half hour.
Okay.
And, he threw the invite out there. So, we may have a guest in February.
Very good. Like that.
So do I. And I was just like, yeah, I said, I'd just love to pick your brain, cause this guy's seen it all.
Yeah.
So he was a big player, during that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure his stories go forever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And a hell of a nice guy too. Just very articulate, just easy to talk to. Just, he's just very nonchalant about his career and all these other things. And I was just like, wow, fantastic.
Yeah. That sounds like a fun night to me.
Yeah. So hopefully we can make those arrangements and make that happen. And, even if I have to send a car for him or something, I'll do that, send a town car to come get him or something, Yeah.
Do we still have to do town cars now with Uber? Can we just say here?
Uber? Yeah, you can't send an Uber for a Tom Zutaut.
You couldn't these days. Maybe not in the 80s, but now.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, come on, you got to treat the guy with a little more respect than some Indian driver bringing him from Chicago area.
All right, ask for a American to drive the car.
Exactly, and a nice town car, not a Prius.
Yeah, go with Lyft, upper scale.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So whatever it takes to get him out here, I'll make those arrangements and see that he has a ride and a place to stay and all that.
Sure.
So, because that to me is a get.
Hell yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. So then I know last year, monster truck full of strippers.
If you're gonna treat him first class.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't think the wife would appreciate that.
Is she coming?
I have a feeling that she would.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll take it right off the screen.
Who knows? But then, as you're well aware, last Sunday, I reconnected with one of our old friends that I literally haven't heard from in years, even though he literally lives 5 minutes from me.
That's right.
Jim Bob Dorf.
Yeah.
And he hit me up out of the blue Sunday. I was getting ready. I usually like to go out Sunday afternoon for lunch, late lunch, early dinner, whatever. And there's a couple places I like to hit, in the local area. And so I'm getting ready and I get a text and it's Jim Bob. And he says, hey man, I've been checking out the CMS TV shows. It's pretty damn good. He says, looks really professional and, looks great.
Gee, thanks.
And I said, where the hell have you been?
Right.
It's like, I think the last time we connected with him was when he stopped in here. And that was like right at the beginning of the pandemic. So that
was longer ago than that.
Are you sure?
That was when I was there, wasn't it?
No. No, he stopped in here. And remember he did the whole metal sludge review or
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All that. So I just remember because when he came, he had his mask with him. He didn't wear it here, but he had it with him,
Right.
And I had to try to remember when that was. And I'm thinking it was like early part of the pandemic, probably like around March or April of what was it, 2020?
Yeah. Right around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the last time I seen or heard from him. And I'm just like, well, where are you living? Where are you at? And he told me where he's living. It's like, that's literally 5 minutes down the street from me.
It's a long distance.
And it's like, well, why have you been so distant? Dude, I haven't seen or heard from you, And he was, oh, dude, it's just a lot of drama. I'll have to tell you about it another day. I said, hey, listen, I'm heading downtown anyway, literally 3 blocks from where he lives.
Okay.
I said, I'm going down to the Radius. I said, you're welcome to join me. I'll buy you dinner. I said, we can catch up, So you and I were texting back and forth a little bit, and he walked up from his place, and we sat and had dinner for, I don't know. We hung out for about 2.5 hours, just shooting the shit and, catching up and, where you been, what have you been doing? I would not want his life. I'll tell you that right now.
So he's still married?
Well, no, it's, I don't want to get into his personal business, but
it ain't good. Is that what you're saying? It just ain't good.
It's everything that you and I hate.
Oh boy.
Everything that you and I hate.
Oh boy. Fun.
So, I'm not going to get into his business, but it's like, oh dude, come on. You're 50 years old. You're too old you should be past this by that age.
These are 20-year-old problems.
Yes. Yes. Just
some people.
Yeah.
Takes them a little longer to grow up. Like 70.
Right. So then while we were sitting there talking, we were just kind of rehashing some of the, things from the past and, bringing up people and, the whole metal sludge thing, you and I had involvement with that. And obviously Jim Bob was the webmaster for that. And
sure.
I think what brought that up was he goes, hey, I talked to Sean Card. Remember?
Okay. Yeah. Sean.
Yeah. He says, I said, oh yeah, what's he doing? And he was just kind of giving me up to date and so on and so forth. And that got into the whole metal sludge discussion. And then, I said, oh, speaking of metal sludge, I said, I'm still talking to our first sludgeette of the month, Chantel.
Yeah.
So I shot Chantel a text, say, hey, it's Jim Bob. And I took a picture together and I shot it over to her. I say, hey, you recognize this guy?
Right.
And she came right back and says, oh my God, where's he been? So we kind of chit chatted about that for a little while. And then, just catching up. And then somehow, Chip's Enough's name came up.
Okay.
Because Jim Bob was very close to Chip. He would always hang out with Chip quite a bit. And and I said, yeah, I've been here in my place for 17 years. And I said, I've invited him out. I said, he literally lives an hour away, not even an hour, like 50 minutes.
Okay.
And I said, I've invited him to come out to the studio so many times. And it's always, yeah, we'll come out, let's do that, and
gotta make it work, brother. Gotta make it work.
But obviously it hasn't happened.
Right.
And so I said, well, speaking of Chip, I said, let's see what he's doing. So I hit him up with a text and he answered me right back. And as I took, sent him the picture of Jim Bob and I, and I said, hey, Chip, you recognize this guy, and he came back. Yes, I do. I hail him. And then I threw the invite out again. I said, well, why don't you come out to the studio? I said, you know, I've been inviting you for 17 years. Well, I'm out on tour, you know. I guess he did some things with.
I'm out in Australia right now, brother.
Is it Australia or is it down in Brazil?
No, they're in Australia. He's a part of that tour that Stevie and Billy are on.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're in Australia right now.
Yeah. Okay. So he sent me the little flyer thing of that.
Yeah.
And he says, when I get back, you know, let's make that happen. I'm just like, yeah. Just
yeah. Okay. Sure. We'll get right on that there, Chipper.
So I guess the only way that I'm going to get Chips enough to come down here is if I send a car for him or something, you know what I mean?
Or if you do it from his place.
Yeah. You know, so it's just like, dude, you could travel the world, but you can't make a 50-minute ride over here. Holy
shit. A lot of miles on this old body, Neeley. A lot of miles.
So that's just another thing I got to work on if we're ever going to get Chip to come down and hang with us for a show, you know. But I told you I had some expendable cash to use, so I'm going to start trying to make things happen if I have to.
Got to get broke again.
Yeah, I guess. Yes. So I was trying to make that happen, and
right.
You know, so when he gets back, I'll hound him about it. But you know, whether I make it happen or not, that's a whole different story.
Sure.
But yeah, trying to make connections. You know, I got this nice studio here, a nice setup, and it's just like, you know, trying to get people out here is like impossible.
Yeah. It's like you got a $10,000 or a $20,000 studio and not a guest to be seen.
No. Can't get them out here. Everybody's busy, or there's something going on, or whatever, and it's like,
exactly,
you know.
Well, at least Tom Zutaut wants to do it. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, most people now go the other way, like, come to your place. Nah, can't we do it on Zoom?
Well, yeah, he said, yeah, I prefer not to do that. I'd like to do it in person.
Yeah, most people are the other way.
Yeah, he says, but if we can't make it happen, you know, in person, you know, then we'll resort to the alternative. But I would prefer to be there in person.
No.
I'm just like, yeah, cool. Dude, I'd love to have you. Love to have you.
It'd be great.
Yeah. So that's been kind of my week, is trying to make connections and make reconnections, and, you know, trying to make something different happen for us, or something unusual or whatever. But I think it'd be great if we could get a colorful character like Chips enough here, or, you know, because that guy could tell stories all day long too.
Oh yeah, he's fun.
So that's been my week, just work and trying to make connections, and you know, looking forward to doing the show, and sweating a lot.
Like right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Too funny. Well, that's sounds like you've been busy. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I you know, this you know, obviously this winter so far has been very mild, and I haven't had quite the depression that I normally get in the winter time. And, you know, I it's just kind of funny, because I'm one of these people who look at the time that the sun sets every day, and at the peak of the darkness, it sets at 4:20, and now the sun sets at 5 o'clock. So
right.
So, you know, we've gained back like 40 minutes already. So that's kind of like my little looking forward, a little optimism there. It's like, well, you know, we've gained 40 minutes, you know, and it's not so dark and dreary, and I don't feel so depressed and down, and, you know, I feel like living, you know, and being that we haven't had some major snow or major really hard freezes aside from that, you know, couple 3 days back in December.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a mild winter, so I feel pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, it's definitely shaking out. You know, and like you said, other than that one really bad week, that one really cold week, it has been very, very mild.
Yeah, must be all that man-made global warming.
Yeah, that's it. It's ruining the earth.
It is. It's horrible.
Ruining it.
Yes, just awful.
Sure is.
Yes, I can't wait to get my electric car to help stave off that global warming, even though there's slave labor, you know, digging out the minerals to make those batteries.
That's right. Well, I can't wait to see you with that Bose system in the back to make it sound like a muscle car.
I know.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, I saw that they were talking about the still making the muscle car lookalikes, but then
Right.
it has the Bose system that makes it sound like a rumbly,
Yeah. Vroom,
big,
vroom,
big
vroom.
horsepower car. It's just like,
So dumb.
what a bunch of faggots.
Yeah, that is just beyond stupid.
Does it emit a gasoline smelling odor too?
Maybe.
Sounds like big horses, but it also emits an odor of high test gas.
Electric fume disperser.
Exactly.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. So funny. Dumb.
Ugh, just dumb.
It is dumb. So what's been on your plate this week?
A lot of work, like real work which was good. A lot of real work coming in all of a sudden. That never stops. And then we beta launched, and I'm not going to get into my whole worky thing, but into this world, we beta launched CMS TV.
All right.
If anybody is watching on one of the things, if they could go to cmstv. I think it's .net, and just make sure that this show is playing and not some replay of us.
Okay.
If they could do that, that would be very helpful. Just to let me know that it is working, because it's
I'm gonna pull that up right now.
all right.
cmstv.net.
Yep.
All right. cmstv.net.
Yeah.
Up there it is. How about that? cmstv.net.
There it is.
With a very cartoony looking font.
Yeah, font.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yep. So I'm working on it. I'm getting it dialed in here for the peeps. So
Sure.
it may be working, it may not be working.
Well, I see it's got a pre-roll here before it gets into
then it's not working.
Why should it go directly to the
It should go directly to the push. That's all right.
So you're sure that the pre-roll isn't going in first?
All right. Somebody else said they're seeing an ad for Pinball PA. So
yeah, I'm seeing an ad for Pinball PA as well.
Yeah, then it's not working right.
Okay.
That's okay. You're gonna love this, dude. So me and Corey Harker, our guy with the radio stations, is also my partner in this, trying to get CMS TV going.
Gotcha.
So we signed up for the company. We put out a big chunk of money to get this thing together. We get it. I mean, it's great. It really has all kinds of fucking amazing functionality to this thing, as far as scheduling shows, and it has what they call hybrid streaming, which is you know how, like, when we do the radio show, like, you run the CMS network all week, but then when you go live, it just goes right to the live thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It has that same functionality to it, where when we go live, it'll just kind of fade out the old and it'll go to the live stream, which I'm going to love, because we have a bunch of live shows on the network.
Okay.
So there's a million, as you can imagine, in the back end of this thing. There's 9 million fucking buttons and clicks and check boxes and everything to set it up the way you want it to work, right?
Sure.
So you know how I do. I just turn it on and I upload some shit and I start pushing buttons and seeing what it does. Well, after about a day of that, I hit Corey up and I said, "Hey, can you send me the manual to this thing? Because it is extensive."
Yeah.
So he's like, "I don't know that there's a manual." I'm like, "What do you mean there's no manual?" So sure shit, he throws a tech ticket out asking for a user manual, and they're like, "No, there's not one."
Okay.
Because it's a newer company.
Yeah, it's in beta form, so they don't have anything officially printed up or available. I get it.
So now I'm really on my own on, like, okay, how do I make this work? How do I make it stream to Twitter? How do I make it stream to YouTube? How do I make it stream to Periscope? All this different bullshit that it says it can do. So I've been messing with it on and on. And then, how do you put commercials in? How do you put IDs in? How do you tell it to play a random show on this day at this time? All these different functions that I I will master. I just haven't yet. So that's why I'm saying it's in beta right now. And obviously the fact that you locked in and it ain't working. Yeah, it ain't quite in beta.
I saw the Patriot Supply. I saw some tax commercial, and now we're in quality coffee with no gimmicks.
Yeah, and all that means is that the folder that I have the commercials in, it's playing them all.
Yeah.
Instead of playing one, which it's supposed to play one.
Yeah.
But instead it's playing 29.
Right.
So so it's a little bit of a work in progress, but it's coming. It's coming together, and it's not playing the live thing. But I'll get it figured out. But that's where I spent the bulk of my week, was getting this thing built and put on the, and I got most of it together. I mean, it is playing stuff. It does play shows. I just have to figure out the live thing a little bit more.
Right.
And we'll get it. I mean, I'm putting it out there live so that people can help me with it, because, I'm a little bit fucking dumb with this stuff too. So, so that was that. And then, last night I went out, believe it or not, I ventured out. My posse, we did our annual pilgrimage to the Dave Landau show.
Yeah. How is Dave?
He's good. I can't thank him enough for the hookup. What a hookup he hooked up. It was at Hilarities where we saw Chris Porter at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But instead of those little shitty tables that we sat at, we got the nice like couch area there right behind it.
You got the booth.
Yeah, we got like the booth couch, and it was really nice. It was a nice setup. And thank God we didn't have the little tables, because Dave was just destroying everybody that was at the tables. So I was super glad that we were not up front.
What do you mean he was destroying them?
Oh, he was just
picking out people and making jokes and stuff.
He literally went from table to table to table to table all the way around the stage.
Yeah.
And just hammered on all of them.
Wow.
Just hammered on them, oh, are you married? Huh? No, you can't be. You look happy, stuff like that. I mean, he was just beating them up.
Sure.
So I was glad that we were back a little bit away from that, because it would have been worse with him knowing me too. He would have beat the living hell out of me.
Right.
So I was plenty happy to be in the back, but it was a great show. He did mostly new material, which was good. I mean, we go every time he comes, and I would say 80 to 85% of the material was stuff I had not heard before. So that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then after the show, we hung out for a little while. And then, once the people cleared, then we went up and chatted with Dave for 15, 20 minutes or so. And that was it. Really, I mean, it was cool. It was fun.
Not that you could divulge anything, but did he give you any insight in the Crowder thing?
Little bit.
Like I said, not that you could divulge.
Yeah, none that I'm going to talk about here, but he told me a thing or two. So, it's all going to shake out the way it shakes out, whichever way, bottom line, DaveLandau.com. Whether he's on Crowder or he's not on Crowder, he's always at DaveLandau.com.
Right.
So
does he have any concern that he'll be out of a gig?
DaveLandau.com.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's enough right there. That's all right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not sure. Not.
Yeah, I mean, he's up in the air at the moment.
As you can imagine, he's worried about making money.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Because he was getting a nice money.
Well, knowing after that video that you sent me today about Kumia having it out with what's his name?
Kevin Brennan.
Yeah, Kevin Brennan, and him just basically flat out divulging that he paid Landau $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And Landau left that. So it's
a lot more.
Yeah, considerably more than that. So that's a nice chunk of change to make in a year,
And it's a hard chunk of change to find as a comic whose only two big successful things have really been Kumia and Crowder.
Yeah. So if Kumia was paying him $100,000 and he left Kumia for Crowder, you know that he, probably making double that, if not more.
Yeah. He's making at least $101,000.
Exactly.
Which is still more than a lot of people.
Yeah, true. Absolutely true. But that's a hard gig to lose if
Yeah.
if things just don't work out right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was super, super cordial, super cool. Hooked, like I said, he hooked us up with great premium tickets. We were in the premium section, which was very cool. It was just a good night. I mean, it was a good night all around. So
now does Dave live in Texas now?
I'm not sure where he's living. I know he was home in Detroit this week, but I think it was because it was his wife's birthday.
Okay.
Because he was supposed to do Seth Williams' show on Wednesday, but he couldn't because it was his wife's birthday.
Okay.
So I know he said during the show that he drove in from Detroit.
All right.
So I'm not sure if he still lives. I mean, he probably lives in Texas, but because when Crowder's going, they're in Texas. So
right.
I'm sure he lives there 4 days a week. He's probably just home until they figure out what's going to happen, I guess.
Well, I know that when he was doing Kumia, he still lived in Detroit, right? And he spent, lived.
Well, he had an apartment in New York too.
Right.
He had an apartment in New York or Jersey or somewhere, and then he had remember he used to talk about he had an apartment in Harlem. He was living in Harlem.
Yeah.
And then but then he would, if he didn't have a comedy weekend, he would fly home.
Sure.
So
it's a hell of a way to live. You leave the wife and kid at home, and you're out doing your gig during the week, and then you come home every other week or every weekend or whatever the arrangement is. Like, wow, what a tough way to have a home life, as it were.
You say tough way, I say it's the best way to keep a marriage going.
Well, at that point, it's just like, why bother?
Yeah. Well, got a kid now, so kind of stuck.
No, I understand that. I get that. But man, I gotta go home now. Gotta go see the wife and the kid. Okay, I'm out the door. I gotta go back and do my gig.
Yeah, glad I was here.
Yeah, I'll see you when I see you.
Thanks for lunch and the blowjob. I'm out.
Right. She's just like, well, just keep that money coming.
That's right.
Just keep that money coming.
Sure, that's why the arrangement works.
Yeah. But to live in Detroit, though, of all places.
Well, he bangs on that pretty hard in his comedy routine.
Oh, I'm sure he does. What's not to bang on?
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
That's like one of the jokes that he's said repeatedly. It's on YouTube, so I don't mind giving it. But he talks about how Journey wrote, "Don't Stop Believing," and it does the whole thing about born and raised in South Detroit. And he's like, but what's the next line? It took the midnight train to go anywhere.
Exactly. I'm out of here.
Anywhere is better than being in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, can you blame him? I mean, geez, I don't know. I don't know when the last time you were there. I know you're going there for Metallic Cash, but still, it's just like, ugh, what a shithole.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to my Detroit time at all.
Well, the arena or the stadium you're going to, I've been there.
Right.
I've been there for a football game, so it's a really nice place. What is it? Ford Field?
Ford Field, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's an indoor. It's an indoor arena, and it's pretty good parking right around the area there, and it's a nice arena and everything. So, aside from just the immediate area, if you don't venture out from there, you'll be okay.
Dude, I'm driving in for the show. I'm going home that night.
Right.
I'm pretty certain I'm not even going to see Metallica.
Yeah, 3 hours up, 3 hours back.
And an hour and a half in between. Going to try and time it so that I only get in like 20 minutes before Pantera goes on. Get to my seat, rock out for an hour, leave.
Yeah, that's dedication right there. That you'll spend 6 hours round trip to see an hour and a half's worth of Pantera.
Yeah, dude, I'm Panteraing it up. I'm going 3 times.
Oh, now you got a third time now.
I'm going to Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
And then the next night we're driving over from Pittsburgh to Indy. We're gonna see it in Indy. That's in July.
All right.
And then Ford Field.
Okay.
I'm all in. It's
so where are they playing in Pittsburgh? Did you say they were playing
Star Lake?
Oh, okay. All right. Out at the amphitheater.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And then whatever amphitheater there is in Indy.
It's Deer Creek, I think it is, or it used to be called that years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's called that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hookup through Knotfest, so it's like pff, good. Just tell me where to be the day of the show. I don't need to know until then.
Sure, absolutely. Well, good. You got something to look forward to on the slate.
I got bunches to look forward to on the slate, man. I've got David Ellefson next month with the Kings of Thrash. You know, him and Chris Poland and Jeff Young from doing the Killing Is My Business and So Far So Good So What in their entirety. So that'll be good. I'm doing that in February. And then I'm going to Queensryche in April.
Okay.
And then 2 Panteras in July and another Pantera in November.
Well, look at you.
I got some shit going on.
Yeah, you do. For a guy who basically is, become a homebody, you're venturing out again.
Trying to get back into moving around a little bit here,
Yeah,
man.
why not? Why not?
Yeah.
If it's available and you can go, why not?
Yeah. The biggest worry I have right now is the Queensryche show, because I'm probably somewhere in between there. I'm having surgery on my knee.
Okay.
So I'm like, I have the doctor's appointment on March 2nd to get the assessment and set the date for it's just going to be a scope. I think. I don't think it's going to be like real surgery. It's just going to be scope in my knee.
It's arthroscopic surgery.
Yeah, pretty much. They got to fix a tear in my MCL.
Sure.
Which, boy, did that fucking suck last night. Oh, just walking like 2.5 blocks from, because you know how Hilarities is, but for people that don't know, there's nowhere like the Hilarities is on a street that's blocked off. Like it's just walk traffic only. So you have to park somewhere else. And we had to park, I don't know, 2-3, but not very far, but we parked, I don't know, 2-3 blocks away, I guess. And I'm hobbling like an asshole, fucking trying to get into this goddamn place. And I refuse to use crutches, and I should be on crutches. I mean, honestly, I really should be on crutches, but I just refuse. And I should have crutched. I didn't. So it wasn't so bad getting in, but getting in fucking tore my knee all to shit. And then getting back to the car. Oh my God, it took like a half hour. Because I just couldn't fucking move my goddamn leg without it hurting. So,
hobbling like an asshole.
Yeah, I was.
I think that should be the
title of the segment.
Hobbling like an asshole.
Exactly. But yeah, it really was. That was the only downer last night, was that my leg was just. I mean, you know how me and John and Steph and Kelly usually get. We usually the comedy show is just the start, and then we're going until 2 or 3 in the morning.
Sure.
We usually find somewhere to go. And last night it was like, finish the show, said hello to Dave. I'm out. I'm going home.
So you just met Stephanie up there. And, and they went separate ways.
Yep.
Worlds apart.
I was literally home before 11.
Wow, look at you.
And that's the kind of night I like. I like that more and more. Now that I'm old, I like see a show home by 11. That's perfect.
Did Dave do 2 sets or just a single set?
He was doing 2. He's doing 2 yesterday, 2 today.
I see. Did you go to the first one or the second?
Yeah, I went to first.
Yeah.
I went to the early show, the 7 o'clock.
And what kind of a break does he have in between?
I think it's 7:30. I think our show started at 7. Maybe it started at 7. And it ended about 8:30. And then I think the second show is like 9.
Okay.
To like 10:30, something like that.
Now, did you have to sit through opening comedians?
Oh, let me tell you about this.
Boy. Because I remember the opening acts that we saw for Chris Porter, and it was just like, okay.
Oh, boy. The opening acts we saw for Chris Porter were Sam Kinison compared to what we had last night. First guy, his name was Ryan something or another. I'm going to be honest, I don't know either of these 2 guys' names. Reason, I don't care.
Right.
First guy, he's just new. I'll cut him an ounce of slack because it was very clear he's probably done 20 sets in his life.
Sure.
And for sure, this was the biggest night he's ever done playing, because that room's pretty big. There's probably
that's a good size room.
I would say like 300 people or so in that room, maybe, 300-400 people. I mean, it's a pretty big room.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was a little nerved up, and, he's just, he only has 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever before the feature.
Like 5 to 8 minutes.
Yeah. Wasn't very long. And he didn't get a lot of laughs, but he got a lot of chuckles. He got a lot of
Just a little snicker.
a lot of that.
A little snickering.
Yeah. So he was okay, but he wasn't the worst. The next dude, though, Jesus Christ. I don't know what this guy's fucking deal was. I think, and again, I don't know this to be true, but I'm assuming this. I think this guy was stoned out of his mind.
Yeah, he may have been.
Because he was sort of like a Stephen Wright guy.
Okay, kind of like a depressed sounding dude.
Yeah.
Like kind of down mumbly.
Yeah. No inflections, no nothing. Except he was very slow with his jokes. He was getting nothing, not even polite laughs, not even, I mean, literally, dude, I've never been in a club this quiet. There were moments where literally all you could hear was him breathing.
And what length set did he get?
Had to be 25, 30 minutes or 7 years or something, because it felt like forever.
Right.
I mean, it felt so long, and literally told one really good joke. One. And I can tell you the joke because
tell me the joke. I want to laugh and laugh.
Because when you do one goddamn joke, it sticks out.
Right.
The joke was he was every time he started bombing, he started telling jokes about his dick. And the joke was his dick is like a Rubik's cube. And it was he said, I forget what it was. He's like it gets hard. It only gets hard after a really long time or something like that. And then he followed it up with, you can make it whole in 30 seconds if you're a small Asian child. And I will admit that was a pretty funny fucking line. That was a pretty fucking funny line, but it was the only laugh the guy got the whole night. Everything else.
Was that his closer?
No. That was his, I'm bombing, so I got to try and tell something even, just something really dirty to try and bring people in. I mean, I've seen comedians eat their balls before.
Right.
This was other level. There was silence. Like you could hear the waiter on the other side of the room taking an order. That's how quiet it was in the comedy
club. You could hear a pin drop.
You really could. It was quiet. No laughter, no talking, nothing.
Yeah.
Just people were just like, all right, be funny. Come on. I mean, and it was endless. I couldn't believe how long it fucking felt. Oh, it was brutal.
But Dave killed though, huh?
Dave killed. But the worst part about that guy, when they introed him, they said that he's been featured on this and that and Showtime. And I was like, Showtime? How could Showtime put this guy on? Which makes me think he was really, really stoned. Because his delivery was so goddamn slow and dull.
Sure.
That something had to be wrong that he was this bad. But whatever it was, it did not work for me or anybody else in the room. Maybe he was better in the second set. Maybe he's better tonight, but he sucked during our set. Just brutal.
But TV, be more funny.
Exactly. Take the more out of it. Just be funny. Any kind of funny. I would have been happy. I would have been happy if the other guy came back up instead. The other guy that really was struggling, at least he got a few chuckles about his girlfriend or whatever. He was telling some jokes about, some of his jokes were kind of funny. He just didn't have didn't have it all together.
Yeah, he didn't have the delivery yet.
Yeah. I mean, he was telling some jokes about, dating during the pandemic and stuff like that. And some of it was kind of funny. It was cutesy funny.
Sure.
Not like dirty funny. It was more like, like one of the jokes he said was something to the effect of, he was embarrassed because even his live-in girlfriend moved out of his parents' house before he did. Shit like that. There's a, cutesy funny, not like
Right.
ha 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 ha. Oh my God, I'm dying here funny.
Right.
And that guy might get it together because he does have some material. He just has to figure out the way to tell it.
Yeah, he's got to work on his delivery and his presence.
Mm-hmm. And he had a little bit of the race to the finish line thing that younger comics have. Get it out, get to the next one. No, don't leave any room. Don't leave any mannerisms.
I've only got 5 to 8 minutes, so I got to really shotgun this thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Tell 2 less jokes and make them better. So people remember you.
Yep.
But yeah, then Dave came up and just fucking murdered.
Nice.
It was really fun.
So good.
Yep.
I haven't been to a comedy club since we saw Porter. That's the last time I went.
I think Landau's coming your way.
Well, if he is, hook me up.
Let me see here. Let me go to the best website. Let me go to the best website on the planet, DaveLandau.com. Now, when I think of comedy, I think of DaveLandau.com.
Right.
Because that site is amazing.
That's the home of the funny.
That's right. No, sometimes I go there when I don't even want to see a comedian, just because it's such a goddamn funny place to go.
Right.
Let's see. Muskegon, is that your? No, it's Michigan, Florida, Pennsylvania. We go to March. Boy, this website works fantastically. It's amazing. Well, maybe he's not.
It's easy to navigate.
It certainly is. The guy that built this is a fucking pro.
Right.
Well, maybe I'm wrong here. I thought there was but I'm all the way out to May and there ain't anything. So whenever he comes back, though, if you keep an eye out at DaveLandau.com, then I'll, whenever he comes to Chicago, I'll definitely take care of it.
Well, when his webmaster updates his website with new dates.
No, he does his own dates.
Oh, really? He does that on his own, huh?
I will give him credit. I built him something so damn easy, he can do it himself.
Wow, look at that.
Yipper. Or at least I think he does himself. Maybe his wife does. I don't know, but it ain't me.
Somebody's able to log in and do it.
Yeah. The only thing I do is fix it when it's broke.
Right.
So, yeah, good time last night. It was definitely fun. It was definitely fun hanging with John and Stephanie and Kelly. And, we had a good time.
Oh, you took the Kelster with you.
I did.
Nice. Little double date. Look at
you
double dating.
I don't know I'd go that far. It was just 4 people there.
You cute couples, you.
Not really. It was just 4 people there. Believe me, Dave wouldn't have been picking at us about being a couple. Hey, man, look at you fucking unhappy people.
Right.
Yeah,
it's date night.
Yeah, it was kind of date night, Friday night. Everybody, it definitely was. The whole room was guy and girl.
Right.
There was definitely not I thought it would be more frat boyish, with the Crowder crowd.
Sure.
Really wasn't. When I looked around the room, it was all, here's a guy, here's his girl. Here's a guy, here's his girl. It was that thing.
They were normal hetero couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about what it was.
That's a comfortable position for me to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was definitely comfortable.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, I say that we take our first break.
All right.
And get to it.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Pitter patter. Let's go.
All right. I'll let you pick a tune. What should we play?
Oh, yeah, I'm in the mood for heavier music tonight. So
okay.
My choice is, let's see. How about White Zombie from Astro Creep, from the Astro Creep release? How about if we go with El Phantasmo and the Chicken Run Blastorama?
Wow.
It's a long, stupid title, but it's a killer
yes,
song.
It is. All right. Let me see here. There it is. How about that? All right. Well, we're going to play a few tunes. We will come back and get rolling here. So
right.
Here it is. It's White Zombie exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Support the Classic Metal Show today when you become a show VIP on our locals page. It only costs $4.99 a month, and it's worth that and so much more. Experience all the real and uncensored talk about everything under the sun, including sex, politics, pop culture, and of course, heavy metal. Additionally, the CMS Locals page is the spot to get the audio and video episode of the Classic Metal Show commercial-free. Also be on the lookout for episodes of the Classic Metal Show that aren't released anywhere else, prize giveaways, and much more. Join us today by visiting classicmetalshow.locals.com. Sign up and take part in the best online spot for the Classic Metal Show. Join today